Tonight, the calls for help are getting louder. Data shows more people are reaching out to domestic violence emergency response lines here in Georgia.
Since 2020, calls in those lines have increased 13%, indicating an even greater need for help to break the cycle in our state. Only on 11 Alive, Caitlin Ross reports survivors of the epidemic want to save families from suffering.
The words in her heart.
To my baby boy Josiah,
Cradle the baby boy.
you have the biggest / best smile ever.
That her hands
I still love you more than anything.
can't quite hold.
I'm not able to completely hold him on my own yet.
Her soft letters a protection
You're such a curious baby.
from the hard truth she can't explain.
My brain doesn't really comprehend yet that I'm in a wheelchair. I'm being in a wheelchair my whole life. It's been a struggle.
Her parents got her message about the struggle on August 22nd when Jalen Morris survived.
As soon as he answered, all he heard was the baby screaming. So once he heard the baby screaming, we knew.
Her baby survived because Jalen wrapped herself around him.
I'm very proud of her. I'm very, very proud of her.
Her former partner shot Jalen once in the back and twice in the face before taking his own life.
On this side, I'm missing most of my teeth, so it's harder for me to talk, especially the bullet cut half my tongue.
But Jalen would not let the violence silence her.
By the time we saw her, she was already on the vent and she couldn't speak. So the only way to communicate was a whiteboard.
Her message, I just want to survive.
She's only here because she's pushed. She's pushed and she's fought every step of the way.
I don't have my core body strength anymore. Everything is just kind of a struggle to do right now.
Her parents now joining in the fight to share her message of survival.
All too often, DV is a taboo subject.
Starting a TikTok channel to raise awareness about domestic violence.
It's taboo. Even on platforms such as TikTok, if you post a video and you use domestic violence, you say the words, it gets taken down.
Jalen now listed as a victim of gun violence in Georgia.
I don't want her name just to be a name on a website on a list. She has a story, and her story could potentially save other names from being on that very list.
Peekaboo!
Jalen wants to use her voice and her words to advocate for other people escaping domestic violence.
I love you more than anything.
To rewrite what a survivor looks like for her son.
I love watching you grow and will forever love you.
She is writing her own story.
What a strong young woman and a strong family. Jalen wants people to hear her story and reach out for help if they are struggling. We have a list of resources that you can access right now on our website, 11alive.com. You'll find this story on our homepage.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talking Crime. My name is Shanira, and today's video, we're going to talk about a young lady that escaped a domestic violence situation. And it's so unique, you guys. And she was courageous. And at the same time, she was trying to save her son. So, you guys, we're going to talk about a young lady named Jalen Morris, age 24. And Jalen's family and friends described her as loving, warm-hearted, very nurturing, caring, and she believed in second chances to the point where it almost cost her her life. This is the story of Jalen Morris. Jalen would start dating a guy named Justin Lamar Combs-Wynn, and Justin was like 29 years old. But now Jalen seen the best of everybody. She wanted to love everybody. She believed in second chances. And her and Justin grew to know each other. They started dating and everything was going fine for the both of them. They both had so much in common. I mean, they liked to go out to eat. Justin loved to play cards. And Jalen just liked being around him. They both seemed to have a good, strong relationship in the beginning. And it would go up from here, at least they thought. And it seemed like they both wanted the same out of life. They both was motivated to work and help take care of each other. Eventually, Jalen would get pregnant, and Justin wasn't too happy of that. Jalen would be pregnant, but Justin start showing signs of being controlling. Everywhere that Jalen went, Justin will call her, asking what she got on, what she's doing. He started becoming aggressive to the point where he started being verbal abusive to Jalen. But Jalen decided to kind of put it aside. She felt like Justin would eventually change, and he promised her that once the baby gets here. Now, of course, like anybody, no matter how old you are, you want a family with a husband, a wife, babies, the whole thing, the picket fence, the world's dream, goals, and ambitions. And that's what Jalen wanted. And she felt like at the time that Justin could provide those things for her. So she would give him the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, this will come back to bite her in the tail. Now, eventually, Jalen would give birth to their son, and Justin just seemed not too attached. Even before giving birth, at the baby shower, even though he found out it was a boy, he was still not happy. It was like he was detached from the child, but still always on Jalen. Want to know where she at, what she got on, what she doing. Eventually, it just started becoming overwhelming to the point where Jalen was tired of it. They was together for 18 months until Jalen decided to cut things off. And Justin just didn't like that. Even though Jalen would send him pictures of their son, he would not respond at all. No comment whatsoever. But all Justin would do is text Jalen all this unnecessary stuff just to get her to come over, to let him see his child, etc. Just to be around Jalen. It's like he really didn't care about his son. So eventually, Jalen started blocking him from social media platforms, etc., because Justin just started getting out of hand to the point where he started calling her over 50 times a day, stalking her, harassing her, to the point where Jalen started getting scared, not for herself, her family. She just thought that Justin would do something to them, and she rather for it to be her than them. Eventually, she would call the police one day because he kind of scared her by showing up at her job, and they would get into an argument, and Justin would push her. But it was stated that's all he did. I don't know, like, if he was abusive far as putting his hands on her before, but she was definitely done. Jalen will call the police and make a report that Justin had harassed her, stalked her, and called her. But unfortunately, the police couldn't do anything about it because Justin hadn't done anything else other than contact her. And she had no proof of the stalking. So she couldn't do anything. You guys, she was starting to be afraid. But instead, Jalen still gave Justin the benefit of the doubt. I mean, why not? They had a child. The family, after a while, didn't even want Justin around. And the dad had to confront Justin about putting his hands on his daughter. So basically, the whole situation was done with when it came to Jalen. One day, unfortunately, Justin was able to talk her in to bringing their son to see him. He would send her text messages saying, I'm sorry, let's just co parent, we have a child together. Basically, telling Jalen exactly what she wanted to hear because he knew she wanted a family. She wanted that white picket fence and she wanted stuff to work. But Even though Jalen family heard this, her father and mother would basically beg her not to go. The father would tell Jalen if he really wanted to see y'all son, he would come to you. Don't do this on his terms. Something's not right. But because Jalen wanted that family, wanted that bond, wanted to co parent, she went to Justin's house anyway with their son. Unfortunately, Jalen would regret this because soon as she got there, she allowed Justin to see their son. But some kind of way, he talked her into going into the bedroom and started being abusive and aggressive to Jalen to the point where he told her, "You will regret this. You should not have came over." And at first, Jalen was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" But then she would realize that Justin didn't even have like a breath in his body to get close to his son or co-parent. He was ready to take her life. And not only hers, his too. Justin quickly pulled out a gun. Jalen picks up their son and turns around to dash out of the room. But instead, Justin shoots Jalen in her back, causing her to kind of drop to the floor. Then Justin walks over to her and shoot her twice in the face. Jalen knew at that point she had to do something to get away. So eventually, Justin, for some reason, thought that Jalen was dead, and he turned the gun on himself, shooting and killing himself. Eventually, some kind of way, Jalen was able to crawl out military style out of the house and get help. She wound up texting her mother, Jennifer, "I'm shot. I love you." Then after that, she sends another text saying, "Please help, you guys." Oh my God. Imagine you getting a text message from a child or a loved one telling you these things. But instead, Jennifer thought it was the wrong number. Then eventually a FaceTime call happened where she can see her daughter, not even realizing that this was her daughter on the ground. She rushed into her car, her and her husband, and take off over to Justin's house, seeing that it was police and everything out there. They were shocked, scared, and didn't know what was really going on because once they got there, Jalen was already rushed to the hospital and they was told that Justin was deceased on the scene. Now, once they got to the hospital, they thought that their daughter did not make it at all. But that wasn't the case. She was in surgery and they were told that she was alive. They was so scared, but at the same time praying and hoping that this surgery was a good outcome. Jalen wound up making it out of surgery, but Jalen had to go through tremendous surgery. Her face had to be reconstructed. She was also on a ventilator for a while because her lungs had collapsed. But guess what? Jalen had overcome that stuff. Even though her and her family was told that she might not be able to walk again, Jalen was in a wheelchair, but she survived this situation. Instead of Justin killing and taking the life of her, he took the life of himself. And now Jalen is also able to raise her son with the help of her family. Now, her family and friends had to remodel the house according to her because she's in a wheelchair, but she thanks God every day that she is still here. And even in the hospital, she was able to write to her family on a whiteboard because she couldn't even talk, that she just wanted to survive. And Jalen was able to do just that. Now, her and her family speaks out on social media and also like platforms like TikTok, just telling her story, because not only she's a number with domestic violence, but she's also a survivor that many women in this situation wasn't able to do. Jalen, we all are proud of you, and we're happy that you're still alive. And unfortunately, you might won't be able to walk, but the blessing in this, you were able to survive, and you have family and friends that love you. And if you are watching this, we all are proud of you. We're proud that you're able to overcome this obstacle and help other women like you. Jalen, keep your head up. You got this, and keep the fight. And to every woman out there that was able to survive these situations, we're also proud of you. Unfortunately, people that lost loved ones in situations like this, we're still praying for you guys. And also keep your head up. And hopefully, if not already, your family and friends are able to get the justice that your loved one deserved and needed. But you guys, this story was really unique. And I am proud of Jalen for overcoming this situation. You guys, don't forget to like this video, comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel, you guys. I will greatly appreciate it. Peace.